We have the power to bring stories to people all over the world, stories that resonate, stories that make people laugh and cry. We have the power to enable new voices to be heard, new filmmaking voices, and there's nothing more exciting than doing that.
You've often been talked about as one of, the only women to have achieved the level of success that you have in the entertainment industry, an industry where, diversity remains a huge challenge. Has it created unique opportunities or challenges that have shaped your career?
I think in terms of opportunities, it's in the work, it's in the kinds of movies that as a woman I gravitate towards. So whether it was Mamma Mia or 50 Shades of Grey, Girls Trip, these are films that are designed to just sort of electrify and ignite and bring together a group of people. So I think that's a real opportunity, and it's born out of a necessity. These are things that we gravitate towards because we believe firmly that there are groups of people who will be very excited to go see them around the world.
Did you ever have self-doubt while you're going through those moments that you could successfully achieve those goals?
There were some times for sure when I wondered if it was the right environment for me, if I was the right person to give my bosses the confidence that they needed, to give our group the responsibility of managing a $1 billion budget a year for production and another $1 billion for marketing. And there were times where I really doubted whether or not I could ever measure up to their expectations. The question I had is whether or not the way that I wanted to do it would ever be acceptable for the way that the company expected it to be done. I had quite a strong self-belief that it could work and I could make it happen with the right team around me, but I had to convince a lot of people.
You can have inevitably some, huge blockbuster successes, but also some big misses as well, which is an inevitable part of the process. What have you learned about failure in the work that you do?
We had a string of movies that did not work, one after the other. But I think I learned more about being a leader and a good executive during those times than in any other time combined in my career, because you can either crumble under the weight of it and the enormity of it, or you can take stock of it, learn from it, and just sort of forge ahead. I think one of the greatest perils of having any kind of failure in our business is that you can become very easily paralyzed, with fear and not be able to pull the trigger on anything else. And the truth is, everything that we do is a high wire act. It's a big swing, and so you have to have, your kind of your gut instinct really intact to be able to do that.
If you were to rewind to your early career, your early 20s when you were starting out, if you were to give yourself one piece of advice at that time that you wish you had either known or that you wish you had taken, what would be that piece of advice?
I think if I was going back with a letter, written to my 20-year-old self, it would say on the front, only open in case of emergency. There's nothing I would want my 20-year-old self to know that I know, because I think it's the journey. It's the journey that enables you to get to a point where you can enjoy your success. And that journey can be 20 years, that journey can be 5 years, but it's the collection of the experience that that amounts to an expertise.